let's dive into like IBEXX. Okay, so we've got a father and 2 sons here sitting here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about just the beginnings of IBEXX, where the idea came from, what you guys were doing that transitioned over into starting the company. Because you guys, I think, are probably relatively new for the industry, 2016 or 17?
End of 2016.
End of 2016 when IBEXX officially began. But, I mean, you guys were doing cool stuff in the space or in adjacent spaces leading up to that point. So give me that founder's story. How did this all start?
Well, Dad started doing stuff in, I would say probably mid 80s, late 80s to early 90s on snowmobile stuff, and that's where his passion kicked up. I wasn't overly interested in mechanics and stuff like that at that point. So William worked a lot with him on porting and piping sleds. Dad, the industry may not know, a lot of people know, but Olive and Performance, he's basically, somebody that's done clutching in their life, especially for where we come from. They worked for him or know about him or they've read his book or whatever. He's the guy that kind of pioneered everything. And so Dad did a lot of work with him. And then, obviously with Snow West, they started Bully Dog in 98. So that kind of went by the wayside a little bit. William and I, our passion for sledding just grew year over year over year. And we watched, obviously, big name guys like Chris Brandt. Funnily enough, Chris Brandt was Bully Dog was one of his very first sponsors before he got big.
Oh, wow.
And in 2011 and 2012, there was new sort of sleds coming out. I had just gotten out of high school. And
2012.
2012. Well, I got out in 2009.
You're just a young. Are you younger?
No, I'm older.
What year did you graduate?
06.
06. Got some young bucks over here. Sheesh.
Yeah. So we fake it till we make it. But anyway,
Love it.
No, and in 12, Arctic Cat came out with their new chassis. Polaris came out with the Pro in 11, and then Ski-Doo had the
XM.
The XM, and then they
13.
went to So we bought all 3 sleds, and Bully Dog was going to start tuning them, start doing power sport stuff. So we kind of headed up that, and Silver Turbos, who the industry knows pretty well, came to us, wanted to do ECM downloading. He saw the future going that way because you have a lot more control, you know what's going on, all that stuff. So he did that and gave us a turbo kit to tune. And William got this really stupid, cool idea to try this weight because we'd kind of just wondered in the industry, the 10 series profile that Polaris developed is a fantastic profile, but it was developed, on older sleds. And all we had done was gotten more weight, stiffer springs, all that stuff. So we got this crazy idea to try and curve in the weight. So we started looking at the clutching from a scientific, geometry level and see if we could make something different. And so it all started in 2013, 14.
Okay.
And he cut a set of weights, and it's been refined a ton since then. But we could come out of the hole on a turboed sled, an old turboed sled, without the bypasses. We could come out of the hole with a stock sled. It gave the stock sled, that bottom end that everybody has been crying for the past 20 years. And so then they ended up selling the business in 14. So there was a little bit of a weird transition thing. And then in 15, I quit, and then in 16 he quit, and he wanted to start a clutching business, and I knew about as much about clutching as probably you do.
Yeah.
Or did. It just didn't make any sense. I'm like, there's a belt, cool, let's go ride.
There, yep.
So that's kind of the way that it started from my point of view. I don't know if he has or Dad has a different one. They probably had a little bit more stress than I did. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. So you're more on the marketing, sales, operation side of IBEXX.
Yep.
William is the engineer of the product, right?
Yeah. The way that I do it is that I'm the looks, of the business, and he's the brains, and we're kind of screwed on both aspects of it. You know.
Hey, but it's good that you each have your own.
Yeah, we're definitely different on that
Different
type
on that
of,
side, right?
Yeah, he was salutatorian in his class, and I was number 26 out of 50. So,
26 out of 50.
Yeah, I didn't even break the top 50%. Can you believe that?
You just barely missed it, but
Yeah,
that would have been American
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
The
Aberdeen.
business is out of American Falls.
American Falls, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So we're headquartered in Rexburg, Idaho, and you guys are in Aberdeen or American Fork
Falls.
Sorry, American Falls, and it's about an hour,
20,
hour and 20,
hour and a half.
Yeah, just south of us. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, small town, 1,800 people in Aberdeen, and there's what
5,000 in
5,000 in
Falls.
American Falls. So
Yeah. Nice. Okay. And so when does Dad come into the picture here? Because you guys are kind of over here scheming some things. And then
I would say where he comes in a lot is the marketing side. We just don't enjoy it.
yeah,
We love interaction with people. We can talk your ear off for days, as everybody can probably see. But trying to get the word out of who we are and what we do is kind of the biggest difficulty that I think William and I never saw that part at Bully Dog, because we went through. He worked in engineering, he worked in IT, I worked in the tech department in QA, and so it's we've been around kind of how the business had run, but not the sales and marketing side of stuff. We never ventured into that. So I think his biggest asset to us was his experience in the
been there,
marketing.
done that before, and seen a company grow like that.
You're right.
And so, define your marketing. Are you old school marketing, or I mean, are you keeping up with all the kids these days, running with them?
I don't do social media.
No social media.
Don't like any of that stuff.
Okay.
But I love. So I think that kids would come to me at Bully Dog. What would you go to school for? I'd go to school for marketing. But now I'm not sure I would go to school for marketing, because everybody that goes to school for marketing gets put in the same box. And it might be really good stuff, but you and I as customers, about the 32nd thousandth time we've seen the same type of ad, we get real tired of it and we shut off. So my thing with marketing is to always look for what will stand out in the crowd. Did lots of things like at Heydays. We were the first person. They had these rusty water tanks driving around Heydays. And I called and asked them, I said, would you mind if I wrapped your truck? I said, I'll put a wrap on there so the truck looks nice for you. And put Bully Dog on the truck, and the whole time they're driving trucks up and down the aisles with Bully Dog. So I like to think of ways that are outside the box to do it. We gave T-shirts away at SEMA once. Lots of people went to the SEMA board and tried to stop us during the thing. There was no rule against having T-shirts, but instead of spending $20,000, well, there's not. No, people can still do it. They just, I don't know. I think people just don't know how to do something sometimes. But we bought $20,000 worth of T-shirts, which is fairly cheap for SEMA. And we would give everybody a T-shirt as long as they would put it on before they left the booth.
Yeah.
And if they left it on, we had people running around SEMA and would give them a little ticket, and they could come back and win $100 for the day if they kept their shirt on. It was a sea of red.
Yeah. That's
So we had, 10,000 T-shirts.
running around advertising for you guys.
Yeah, that was probably the most powerful marketing that's ever been done.
Yeah.
Because everybody. And then the next couple of years, people would always come up, you have T-shirts, we want T-shirts. I think we did it twice. But, yeah, I like to think outside the box.
Yeah.
In marketing, I enjoy watching for the gaps. So
That's needed. A lot of that is that old school marketing, but the old school stuff is what's getting forgotten these days, and that stuff still works, right? And I think the magic is when you can sprinkle in that old school stuff, but then also sprinkle in the old school stuff with some of the new school stuff. And you guys are, this is at least the second podcast you guys have been on, right? Like you guys are are out there doing new things and you know, building and growing the business. So Dad comes in with the marketing side, kind of that been there, done that before. Leadership for the company. At the end of 2016 happens. Did you guys launch into snow, or were you guys first into the dirt, the side by side?
The snow stuff was our first attack. Like Alex said, we started with some basic snowmobile clutching before we even started the business, and we thought that at that point the dirt stuff from 16 on has grown like crazy. But before that, we personally weren't even in the dirt scene much. So it wasn't a market we even knew.
Yep.